Good morning, guys. Hey, Rick, good morning. Let's see here. How's everybody doing this morning? Just warming up a little bit this morning. Working on a really tough piece of local. I think this is something associated or something with the Keokuk formation or where that material comes from near me. This is a really consistent material, but it is super tough. So I'm just trying to warm up a little bit, get going this morning. Hope you guys are doing well. Good morning. Hope the time change didn't mess with you if as bad as it has me. I'm completely out of sorts. Everything seems off. I wish they would just leave it alone. Leave it on this one right here. Hey, good morning, Blake. Yeah, I wish they would just quit messing back and forth. I mean, I understand, you know, in the wintertime, it's nice to be able to see where you're going in the morning, but I just wish they would leave it alone. Yeah, I'm telling you, Blake, that I'm not liking it. I woke up yesterday morning and my wife and I, Jenny and I completely forgot about it. I mean, we were just kind of oblivious to what was going on. I woke up on Sunday morning and looked over to see what time it was, grabbed my phone. You know, of course, their automatic update. Well, it says, oh, it's 7 o'clock. So I'm going to get up and around, and I kind of stumbled towards the kitchen, was going to grab me a glass of water, and looked over at the stove, and it says 6:01. And I thought, well, I must have looked at my phone wrong this morning. I guess I was tired. I'm just going to go back and lay down for a little bit. And I went back and laid down and fell back asleep. And when I woke up, I looked at my phone again, and it said 8:45. And I thought, oh my gosh, how did I sleep another 2 hours and 45 minutes? And I've been off since that point, I guess, because it just, last night for bedtime, just didn't seem like, you know, it just throws me off. So enough of the rant going, I guess. I hope you guys are not similarly affected by it this morning. I said, this is really tough rock. I have to give it a pretty good. I agree. You know, I mean, I'm not sure exactly what the original, you know, intent of it was from what I've, you know, heard or whatever. Now, I've never researched it or anything, but it was supposedly to do with the amount of daylight hours that were available to you, and it was, you know, so it's not dark when you're driving into work in the wintertime and some other stuff. But hey, Terry, what's going on? I'm getting ready to work some. You gonna be around for a while this morning? I've got this little cobble here of that some of your for a while this morning. I've got this little cobble here of that some of your Horse Creek that I'm gonna work. I'm just trying to warm up a little bit on some of my local junk. like I said, this stuff is tough, but it's consistent. And I like that. Oh, there's a crack in that though. Or did I just crack it? No, I guess there's a crack in it. Little lag this morning. Yeah, but it makes me wonder that, well, I mean, I know that, you know, the school, you know, being not year round and having time off in the summer was originally so kids could help their parents, but I don't know about, I mean, man, when I grew up on a farm, you know, there was, you know, I mean, it wasn't like we worked by the clock. You worked by the daylight, and you worked when it came up, and it didn't matter if it was 6 or 7 or 8:30. You know, when it was time to go cut hay in the summertime, or the, you know, any of those chores. Yeah, it's all it does is throw everything into chaos for, you know, for me, sometimes a couple weeks it takes me. I'm one of those type people that, like my internal head clock or whatever, you know, if you ask me what time it is, generally I can tell you within 5-10 minutes of what time it is. You know, it's just like, oh yeah, it's probably about blah, blah, blah. And I'm usually really close. Except right now, like last night, the wife and I were sitting there, and I go, it was, our dog is like our timer around here. She will let you know if you've forgotten dinner time or anything like that. But I looked at was watching the golf tournament and looked at my phone and thought, oh my gosh, I've got to, you know, so we got to start putting dinner together. And, because it just didn't feel, it was like 5:30. Well, normally that's 4:30, you know, it just didn't feel like that. Just kind of thrown me off. Alrighty, I'm about feeling like I might tackle some Horse Creek. I started off, I wanted to work something to warm up that was a little tough so that I would remember to. This Horse Creek, if you go easy on it, it will step fracture and do a bunch of funny stuff to you, and you got to really have it in your mindset to not lay off of the shots on it. You know, I'm not saying you have to hit it really, really hard, but you need to make sure that they're nice, you know, really crisp type strikes, because if you hit it with any hesitation, then it will run short flakes on you, and that Horse Creek is just too pretty of a material for me to just go in and blow up a piece of it. So I always like to try to warm up and be prepared for what it has to offer me. All right. Take this one more flake right here, kind of get it in my mind how I want to drive this underneath there. If you look at this, there's just a little bit of a sway right there. Do you see, if you can see that? It's not flat, and it's got a little bit of an uptake at the end. And those are the type of, I mean, and it may do it anyway, because like I said, this is tough material, but those are the type of spots that if you hit it with the right angle and with some conviction, you can get it to run underneath there. But if you hesitate, it will definitely increase your chances of something bad happening. Right on, Terry. Well, you do your thing. I'm going to warm up on this a little bit more. I've got a couple of flakes here I want to try. That was where that lipped out a while ago. All right, see if I can run this. There's my little platform, and you can see there that little dip is right here. Now, I may not be able to run it underneath there, but I've got enough room coming this way that I could fix it if not, but I just wanted to see if I could run one underneath a little bit of a rise like that, just to kind of give myself some muscle memory this morning to where I would like to. Now I'm going to put my finger right along that ridge. You can see I'm right on top of it. And I'm actually, hey Jackie, good morning. And I'm, Todd, good morning. And pulling like this with it. I've got a back pressure on it directly in line. Speaking of which, let's dull that just a little. There's a sharp edge there. I don't want to drive a flake into my finger this morning. I'm going to push in. Yeah, it didn't go. Let's adjust it to the side. I may have overstruck that. I think I did overstrike it just a tad on my part. Yeah, James Gang, if you look on my profile or my whatever the page, my home page on this, I've got about a 4-minute video pinned right at the very top of all my posts, and it explains the whole setup. And then if you've got any more questions you want to come back in, I'll answer them. But yeah, and I'm not trying to be rude. I get asked that a lot about this setup, so I kind of did that to save having to show every time somebody asks. So, Jessica, hey, thank you. I appreciate it. Okay, what I did there, guys, is I just beveled this edge on the other side of that, and it's still a little bit undercut, but I think we can kind of build a path to it. You know, I always start towards a tip or a base. Get that first flake started and give those subsequent flakes a place to travel behind it. See, and there went our little stack that I was trying to get at. There's a crack in this right here. And we got most of that little, you can see there's a little bit of we've got a little bit of mass or a hump right here, but everything else is fairly uniform. And then this other side, You can see we've got a little bit of a dip right in here, a little bit of mass on the tip and the base, which we're going to address that first thing. When I get to after the first initial set like that of DLY Greg's, this right here is a piece of, I'm going to call it Burlington because that's the closest thing that I know of what it is. I believe it's a Burlington variant. It's a white chert that comes out of a limestone formation in northwest Arkansas. A buddy of mine and I found this seam of material, and what it reminds me a lot of, I've got a few pieces of it, even though this is found about well, I couldn't even tell you exactly how distance-wise, but it's found about well, I couldn't even tell you exactly how distance-wise, but it's found about well, I couldn't even tell you exactly how distance-wise, but it's found about well, I couldn't even tell you exactly how distance-wise, but it's found substantial. Sorry, I had a phone call to come through. I was trying to see. Sorry, I had a phone call to come through. I was trying to see. Sorry, I had a phone call to come through. I was trying to see. Sorry, I had a phone call to come through. I was trying to see.